we're going to talk about gang banging. I don't mean women, I mean gangsters banging. I really don't think banging is permittable today. You should gang bang. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices.
Look, today's slightly different from the 80s. Separated from greatness, killing up all the babies. Sickening and so degrading, cripping and blooding daily. Never gonna let this fade me, your bullets done hitting graves. Me still standing, amazing suffering, complications and contemplating, debating, time for retaliation. You new to this banging, you're quick to join in the game when you don't even know the half about what set you be claiming. All these new fools, new crews, bloody blue shoes, so woo. Hang yourself with a loose noose, no truce. You the fool if you don't hear when it's real. You plan to deal with your life, one day you bound to get killed. I done walked through the hood, seen a lot of blood spill. Mama's crying, babies dying, getting served in the field. Don't regret the way I feel about today in the game. Don't make no sense for you to drive up in this death lane. My nigga.
Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices.
Gang gang. Everybody got something to say, bro. Brothers in the streets getting stretched out like Play-Doh. Wear the right colors or better watch what you say, bro. Or get your face peeled off by a barrel of that Draco. Take no prisoners in this lane. There's prisoners in this gang. A sick thing, but some of y'all wouldn't understand the gang lane has changed. Now everybody banging. Online with that bullshit and the fake sense you claiming. Fugazi, hit the streets and catch your fade, G. Bullets get more hits than the internet do daily. Sadie up in these streets without that social media shame. Many that I get claimed got shot from another gang. Blessing that I remain so real that I can't complain. I'm able to spit this game, yeah, Yogi gon' keep it sane and keep away from the flame and mentally train the brain and whatever else that I can claim. I'm changing the game. Woo.
Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do.
Listen, here's a little gesture. Stand up for yourself when you're feeling a lot of pressure. Got to go address ya. Actually, what's that you claim? Colors that you be wearing and sagging it like a bang. That ain't gonna get you nowhere. Homie, don't even go there. Hit me up on my hip and stop acting as if I don't care. You know where I've been up in it and out of it for a minute. And it ain't never gonna finish until we all get diminished. Tell me really who's with it. And it ain't never gonna stop. With the killing your brothers and getting shot by the cops. Now look at the situation becoming an occupation that's spreading across the nation. System really is tainted. Stay related with the ones that done been there before. Get some pointers, learn some lessons about the do's and don'ts. It's better to be square, no negative over there. Let's politic with each other and put one up in the air. Let's go.
Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. You never know what another person been through till you really find out what it do. Choices.
Yo, what is good, everybody? Much love and respect to every single person that's hanging out with us this evening, afternoon, morning, wherever the hell you guys are from. Much love and respect. Thank you guys for coming and tuning in, chilling with your boy over here at Insane Wheels. We got coast to coast here, guys. And guys, I know we don't have our normal guest that's our co-host that's normally on here. That is Bent Rim. And that is because he's got some stuff that he's got going on, and that's okay. But today we got filling in for his space, Chino B, this man over here.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Chino B.
Now, this man, though grown or born and raised over here on the West Coast, you have definitely done your fair share of the East Coast. You've even ridden your motorcycle basically all the way through the East Coast. So you definitely actually qualify to be on this to even talk about it. I like it. I
Yes.
like it a lot.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. I just thought that, hey, man, we might as well. The show goes on, right? These are lives, and this is what it's all about. Now we have a lot of interesting things that are going on. I want you guys that are in the chat right now. I want you guys to know that for some reason, the StreamYard is not showing your guys' comments, so I can't highlight it. So, but I do happen to have my phone up here so I can, read your guys' comments at the same time. I just won't be able to highlight them. But, will there be dick jokes? No, there will not be there, Road Rage. I got you there. But anyhow, yes, this is live, y'all. And I appreciate all of you guys tuning in. And we're going to be talking a lot about, first of all, there's a lot of social media that is influencing a lot of things. And whether it be, just the normal social media. And then we've got YouTube too, which people don't even understand that there's actually two different things there. Like they think social media is YouTube and vice versa when it's totally not. I believe in the way I look at all of this is that social media is like your Instagram, your TikTok, Facebook, the places to socialize. But then YouTube is totally different. It's not a social media. It's a search engine. It's literally linked up to Google. So if you make a how-to video, let's say on handlebars, how to fix handlebars, how to put up 12-inch risers, whatever you want to do, crazy madness stuff, right? You can do that, and you can always go back to, you could just type it in, and all of a sudden, boom, your video pops up, and your video will be played forever and forever and forever. A little different on social media. Once it goes, and then it kind of like you got to wait until the next video. Now, I'm not saying that YouTube is all that way because it's not, And just for everyone that knows, we've got Twitch. We're broadcasting to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube at the moment. And so I've got all of you guys, see you guys on Twitch over here. And then I ironically can see you guys there, but I can't see YouTube. So it's weird. But anywho, so I was wondering, Chino, first of all, I want you to explain a little bit, first of all, your likings and doings and what you've done with social media, and also, your start of your YouTube page now. And also how you can actually contribute to this conversation, being that you've also ridden all the way through the East Coast too. I find that a very cool story.
Okay, so where to start? So I actually went to film school back in 2019 at San Francisco Art University, and or Academy of Art University, San Francisco. And I was a editing and directing major. After I was getting my own stuff set up to do a wrestling show, and then the pandemic happened, and then all my aspirations in that kind of went out the window. And then I got a job as a military contractor, and I served 8 years in the Marine Corps. Now I've served so far 3 as a contractor, and I've been in multiple motorcycle clubs throughout the years. The one that I went across country, that one was a 1% club, and I went all the way over to the East Coast, and I got to party with every single chapter on the East Coast, and I was one of the first people to do that. I got to go from Florida all the way up to Massachusetts, every single state in between, and every state, every chapter, they party differently, but every single one of them was amazing and a new experience, right? I've had stuff as lighthearted as doing raffle or fundraisers for the veterans and for children. And I've also been in hairy situations where drunken people that were up to no good wanted to get in my face or
we know those guys, though. We know those guys.
Yeah, the ones that chase clout instead of adventure. You know
yeah, what I mean? That's also dude, that's a very good topic right there too. I like that. But yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So what was the last question? Social media.
Right.
I've been on Instagram for a while. My handle is Chino_Berserker. I haven't gone too much into YouTube because I set it up when I was in film school, and at first it was just all my family videos and my the videos that I made for the school projects. But then I started putting all my shorts, my Instagram shorts on there, and the Beatcan podcast.
Yep.
And I'm gonna drop this one on there too. So hopefully, I'll start getting more of a following on YouTube.
Yeah,
Get
that's
it
right.
started.
That's right. And I got
Yeah.
you guys, for everyone that's following right now on YouTube, I've got his handle actually hyperlinked. You can click that and you can just click subscribe right there. And then boom, we got our boy up there. So, yeah, no, I've seen, you know, obviously I've seen you grow over the course of the years I've known you, from basically no social media to now where you are kind of getting to this influenced or influencer stage. And I find this very interesting because I saw it in myself, because I used to want to do it myself, right? This is what I
Mhm.
wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to talk about, all these things. And then for it to actually come to fruition is a massive ordeal. And I know that seeing it happen for you on my side has been almost like kind of like a mentor watching it, you know, happen. Like, wow, like this is really cool. And this
Yeah.
is just the beginning though, you know, and that's the funny thing about it, is this is really just the beginning. But since I've met you, it's been a dramatic difference already. So, have you been able to, like, you know, I know you've learned a lot in film school,
Yeah.
so much more than I can ever teach you. But is there stuff that, like, for instance, on the outside, you know, for instance, that are showing you different artistic ways to or portray stories or whatever, however storylines that you got to do, like videography, all that stuff? It's one thing to do it in school, but when you actually are out here doing it, what
Mhm.
where are you kind of learning more? Are you learning more in school, or are you learning more on YouTube University? You know what I mean? Like, which one, like, what really is helping you the most, and where did you learn the most? And have you made a lot of changes since then?
Well, where I was lacking the most back in school, it was camera, like videography. That was where I lacked the most. My specialty was more of storytelling and editing, taking the film and putting them together, creating the movie. But
Right.
now that I've been doing this, I've gotten more into like the communication side, learning audio, learning more of the camera work and different tricks to do transitions. And I've actually gotten a lot better, and it's a lot more fun to learn. And I'm also learning more from you about how to do like podcasting and how to use a mic. You
Yeah,
know?
no, you see, using like microphones and all this stuff, it looks very simple, and then you'll quickly realize when you try to set it all up, it's like, whoa, this is not as simple as it looks. It you know, to get that sound, it's hard to get that. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. You know, there's a reason why there's videographers and engineers. You know, the
Mhm.
ones that focus on the video side and the ones that focus on the audio side. So you,
Absolutely.
as a guy that is like this, we run our own show, and so you naturally have to like kind of like pick it up as you go and just do it. And there is a lot that goes into it, and that's something that I want to kind of bring about as well. Is, since we're talking about the podcast and you brought that up, is I wanted to bring out that there was obviously a handful, a very good handful of podcasts that were out pre-pandemic that I think that we all kind of knew what they were, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But now, ever since the pandemic, it's kind of weird that it's almost morphed to like where everybody is becoming like this podcaster. And I guess I'm kind of getting linked into that. I guess I'm kind of that area as well, because it was during that time, I guess. But I have been streaming for 15 years in
Right.
total. So this is not new to me, but at the same token, podcasting per se is. So I guess I do fit in that category. So, you know,
Well, what are you
I would just,
talking about? You did stream, you did all that good stuff. That was
yeah,
exactly like podcasting.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like podcasting, but except you're not sitting there on a particular subject and topic the entire time. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting there, you can play your video game or whatever, and then you talk about whatever you want. But that's it, you know, and you respond to what you want. You're not like on a time. You're not having topics that you have to talk about. It's not like that, you know. Like I'm sitting here
Right.
for you guys at home. I actually have to write my stuff out. That as soon as I think of it, I just write it. There's always a notepad in front of me because I'll sit here and write as soon as I think of something, stuff like that, you know. And I just thought that it was kind of interesting that we were actually talking behind the scenes before we came on live about
Yep.
how podcasts have changed and it's become so popular. It's become so dang popular within our culture to become a podcaster. And is it actually feasible though? Is it something that you can start and all of a sudden, you know, make money on? Well, just like almost anything, no. You know,
Well,
I can personally attest that you could go 20 episodes in and not see a dollar. You know what I mean? It's okay. You can go 30, 40. And they always say, this is from like the YouTube. This is from the YouTube University. Okay. The first 100 videos you make on YouTube ain't going to do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, just get that through your mind if you ever want to be a content creator. Like, YouTube, your first 100 videos are going to suck and or they're just not going to get views. And you have to be okay with that. You know, I was, you know, lucky enough to be able to build over the course of time, you know, a following on social media, not so much on YouTube. I think you guys that are here now, I think you guys understand that I never really did anything on YouTube up until recent. So yeah, and I see this now, and now for some reason, boom, my comments just pop up onto my thing. I don't know why it now all of a sudden is working. It just refreshed. But I like what
know.
Jason
I'm
said
not able
here.
to do it on StreamYard.
You're not able to see them either? Yeah, there's something weird going on.
I
There's
have to go
definitely a
on
glitch.
like YouTube, and there's like a
Yeah.
lag on YouTube.
Nah, so but podcasting is kind of like the new age radio show, and it definitely is. And I'll admit, when I go to bed, you know, I'm gonna be honest. My old lady hates this about me. I'll put in my AirPods. Like I put one AirPod in, okay, so I can still hear you, but I put one AirPod in and I'll fall asleep to a podcast. Like, I don't know. It's about what we consume almost, you know what I mean? And that kind of brings me into like the doom scrolling and what we like kind of do on social media, right? You know, and what we're focusing on. Because it seems like what we're focusing on YouTube, social media, it's all like these real negative things, or they're just dead brain cell things, you know, they're just don't need to know that, didn't need to see it. This is all irrelevant. It doesn't matter to daily life. And I understand that. You know, I blow off steam on Instagram. I do that all the time. You know, I go on Instagram Live, and that's kind of like what that is to be able to just hang out and just chill, and you're not really expected to do like a show per se, you know.
Right.
But with this doom scrolling, you know, what we're actually taking in, for instance, like I say, when I'm falling asleep and listening to a podcast, I'm actually learning something as I'm like, it's like what I'm listening to is like documentary style. Like I'm learning and I want to forever learn, but it seems like there's not a lot of people that are into wanting to learn like that positive, good, you know, whatever it could be, mental health, it could be anything. And then all of a sudden they'd rather focus on the negative because it's funny or it's, but it's funny just for the moment. It's not funny, you know, 10 years from now. Is it going to be relevant 10 years from now? Is it going to be relevant from 10 days from now, 10 hours from now? You know, so these are kind of the things I wanted to bring up nonetheless, because I do think that it's an interesting topic all the way around at podcasts and, you know, definitely what we consume on doom scrolling. If you guys don't know what that is, it's when you go onto like TikTok or Instagram and all of a sudden you just start scrolling and scrolling, and then you get into like 10 hours later, you haven't slept, and you're like, I just learned everything about this rabbit hole that I never needed to know.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on all of these little topics I just brought up? I know it's a lot all at once, but
All right. So I might get off on a tangent right now. So before we start getting into that, I
yeah,
wanted to
before
address
we
road
do
rage.
Yeah, hold on. Before we do, I gotta hit this real quick. Dude, we got Nelson coming in hot with the very first. This is my very, very, very first super chat, guys.
Oh.
I'm very, very thankful for you and Nelson. And guys, don't feel like you are obligated to do any of that, but I did want to show much love and respect for that. So thank you. So,
Nelson.
anyways, but go ahead and address Road Rage.
I wanted to address Road Rage's comment, and in no way am I upset about you making those crayon jokes, because those crayon jokes are pretty real. I am a Marine, yes, and yes, Marines are crayon eaters. My favorite are the red crayons.
You don't like orange. Keep the orange for later.
This is an orange crayon. So
orange and purple. Orange and purple always are last.
Ah, here's a red one. It even says red.
He got himself a red crayon right there, dude. That's a true Marine right there. That's a true Marine. You see that? You see that? No, that's some awesome shit right there.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah. No, he really is the thing, man. There's no false claiming around here, around these parts. But yeah. So with doom scrolling and what you consume, how important is that to you and what you do in your daily life, Chino?
Yo, doom scrolling can be a good thing or a bad thing, right? Like, I know a lot of topics. I know a whole lot about a whole lot, but then when people ask me questions, I seem like I'm crazy because I know a whole lot, right?
Could be that conspiracy theorist, like everything is a conspiracy, you know?
Yeah, I started doing this thing at work a while ago about talking about current events with all the Marines, right? And all the Marines would tell me a current event. I would tell them a current event. But then it started getting really negative around the pandemic and stuff. And then next thing you know, I got a master sergeant telling me that, oh, you know, snark, snark, Chino's in this snark, snark stuff. Yeah. And then that's just the way that they started shutting me down, because I started getting too into the conspiracy theories, right?
Yep. And just like everyone else, was getting flagged too. Like all the originally, remember when the pandemic, right when it came out, like anytime we spoke about COVID-19 or the pandemic or whatever, instantly it would flag you and it would take you down, like you were banned. Like it would like instantly give you a like an actual disclaimer, like, yo, this man is not qualified to talk about COVID-19. And if you want to actually know about COVID-19, hit what we tell you to know about it. You know what I mean? I found that to be very interesting. It's like, wow, you're forcing us to learn from your guidelines, not from what we think or anybody else's guidelines, but your guidelines, which is kind of weird.
Right. I don't know if we're even allowed to talk about that right now on YouTube, but I remember, 2 years ago, the media was actually on live saying that they wish that Joe Rogan would die when he took ivermectin. And then what happened last week? CDC said ivermectin is the main cure for COVID-19, or the main treatment for COVID-19. Yeah. So everything that we were called a conspiracy theorist like 2 years ago, all of a sudden it's the facts now. So,
right.
You know, it's all crazy. And
well, it's crazy. It's crazy when you're the minority of, you know, the sayers of like, hey, I see this is all wrong here, and you're calling it out. And at the time, you're just brushed off to the side, like you don't know what you're talking about. And then all of a sudden, you're right, and now people are like, oh, you know, yeah. But you know, it's like, come on, man, where was the credit 2 years ago when I was calling it out? You know.
Ooh, Road Rage wants to talk about conspiracy theories.
Oh, I can imagine him and you could have your own show together with just your conspiracies alone. Holy snap.
All right, here's one. He talked about aliens. The government came out with aliens. So Congress said that there's all these aliens that come out, different types of races. But what I took most from it, because for the past 3 years, Biden has been saying that we're going into the next industrial revolution. So I was looking at the new technology that the Pentagon was talking about, and it was direct energy weapons There's magnetic propulsion systems and all this crazy stuff that you wouldn't think.
Jeez.
Turbines that create air, water out of the air, and they're using it to do agriculture in desert lands, like in the Sahara Desert.
I wish I could have that. I wish I could have that installed in my house. I don't want to have a water bill anymore.
But
you know what I mean?
Remember, they're not going to release this unless they can make a profit out of it.
We don't live
in a capitalist system. It's a oligarchy or a corporatocracy.
Absolutely. And I like how Rebecca puts it right here. It's not a conspiracy if it can be proven true. And that's a thing, is a lot of things can't be proven at that very moment. And that can be hard because it can't be proven at that very moment, but it's like everything points to the same answer. And it's like, am I crazy that me and, maybe even millions of others agree with this, but we're still the minority of this, but we somehow see it.
Yeah.
So why aren't we recognizing that we see something here? Like there's millions of people that are affected by this, but you got all these other people saying, nope, because there's tens of millions, let's say, that outweigh the million, So it makes us seem kind of crazy.
I guess I'm a fire-breathing chicken.
Yep. We're us and our fire-breathing chickens between Road Rage and I. Oh my freaking God. I pause on that, by the way. But for some reason, he's got this running joke about this light and fire-breathing chicken and him even at work. Dude, it's hilarious. This dude. I love Road Rage. And if you guys haven't already, shout out to Road Rage 810. Go check him out on YouTube. I actually just did a kind of like an interview, but he was like a guest co-host. And we got to talk all sorts of stuff, great stuff. And he was on the Hollywood and Mike show. And here on Insane Wheels, it's on here as well. Go ahead and check it out. It's our last episode. And also, guys, I did want to let you guys know also a little something before, since I'm on this topic, I might as well let you guys know, because this is a fairly new channel and what we're doing here. And also this is a live hangout session, is that I want to kind of explain real quick while I got the chance, what the schedule is looking like. So we've got Mondays is the start of the week. Mondays is my like editing, upload, like maybe a prior episode and or short stuff like that. Tuesdays are, let's see, we got this show right here, the Coast to Coast. And then Wednesdays is my off day editing, but I'm uploading an old one as well. Thursday is an off day. Friday is Beat Can at, and all of these are at 5 p.m. PST at the same exact time. I'm not doing like this 6 a.m., 5 p.m. back and forth crap. I'm doing it all the same, 5 p.m. PST as much as I can, unless guests can't do it. So, but all the way through the week, we're going to be uploading no matter what I'm uploading on this channel nonstop. It's shorts, lives, and posts, obviously. So, and cheers to you over there, kind sir.
Oh. I'm sorry. I thought everyone was paying attention to you. I was trying to.
Oh, no. I was paying attention to you.
I was just trying to do a little sneak talk. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah. No, I like it. And yes, Road Rage with his mysterious dim lighting. Yes. We gotten a couple of comments about that. I called my entire team into a meeting in the conference room, and we discussed how to breed a fire-breathing chicken for 2 hours. And yes, that actually did happen. And I was actually, I think I was the very next like guy he talked to. He was like, dude, this is what we talked about at work today. I was like, what the my next video may be maybe setting light upset for fire or full John Wick on it after what happened the other day. Hey man, listen, everything happens. It just, especially when you're live, you can't expect it to be perfect. You know what I mean? And trust me, lighting is the least of anybody's issues.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, I I wanted to kind of guide you back though onto the doom scrolling and how important it is on what you are focusing on and what you are consuming in on a daily basis. How important is that for you and your personal mental health?
Yeah, so I have PTSD from when I went to Afghanistan. I was blown up. I've lost many friends. In fact, if you look at all my tattoos, every raven tattoo on me is a person who I've lost.
Oh,
I
wow.
currently have 15. I have really bad PTSD, so the way that I cope with it is instead of doing all the medicine, because the VA really just try to kill vets
They just
by
want to
throwing a
shove
bunch
that.
of pharmaceuticals at you, and that's one reason why our suicide rate is so high. But I got an alpha stem unit, helps me control the thoughts. And whenever I get too far into these conspiracy theories, I will really get like hyper focus on them, and I'll start connecting dots that shouldn't be connected, I guess. Next thing you know, I'm isolated in my closet or in my garage, and I'm just not talking to anyone, and I'm just being very distant. And I don't like that. It's really bad for my mental health, bad for my family. So what I do is I put the phone down, and then I go to the gym and I start working out.
See,
It helps.
see right there. That's a wonderful way to let out that out, and stuff like that. But it's very important, even when you are on that phone, though. Even
Mhm.
when you are, though, like that's why I brought out like when I fall asleep, like I really believe that like what you listen to is what you consume is very important. And like I'll even listen to affirmations, dude. I'll listen to all
Oh yeah.
sorts of stuff, and that stuff like people like will ragdoll on. Don't rag until you try it, man. Like
Oh
you
yeah.
when you listen to stuff that is actually going to benefit you and your health and or your education, I don't see why the hell you wouldn't do that, instead of sitting there watching, something stupid on Instagram and you just doomsday scrolling, and you're just going boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So,
Right. Like I don't know about you, but my favorite affirmations is I look up stoicism quotes,
hmm
or I have a religion is Norse mythology, I guess you would call it, the Viking religion. So Odin, he has his own book of like philosophy, right? Kind of like
hmm
right here, it's called the Havamal, what I have behind me, and it's just ways to teach you how to live your life. Odin was the god of outlaws, so it's fitting, right? So
it's
I
very fitting. And I
listening to
actually
the
kind of learned a
philosophy.
lot about the philosophy. Well, I learned a lot about that from you, actually, from your posts.
Oh,
Because
thank you.
I really didn't get into that kind of stuff until you kind of were going and putting out quotes of the day. And I was actually, I still, you still do it. And I still
Yeah.
love watching and listening and hearing the different stuff that you'll actually bring up from like stuff like those times. These are old school times. These aren't like, some, oh, some biker, 10 years ago, you're talking some
Right.
crazy, crazy legends, so that's cool. I like that. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I really like it. The thank you for reminding me. I didn't do a quote of the day, so maybe I should try it now.
There
Right.
you go.
All right. Quote of the day: a tree loses its leaves every year, but it still stands tall and waits for better days. I hope that this quote serves you well. Stay
See?
strong.
And that's like him doing a short, like he's done long ones, short ones. There's all quotes of the day, man. They're amazing. And some that I was talking about. It's all about what you consume. And yeah, it's fun to sit there and listen to brain dead stuff and even play into it. Like as I do it all the time. Like I talk about, what I was talking about earlier, the differences between like social media and YouTube is so different, right? Because me just hanging out on Instagram Live, that's kind of what you're doing. Even though you're socializing, you're getting to know your audience, you're getting to know people like that. You're not sitting there on like a show basis. You're just they're kind of following you around, they're kind of watching what you're doing and your conversations. Now, when it comes over to YouTube, obviously, if we were just hanging out, just, not discussing anything, no one would sit here and watch. And that's something that I find very interesting between the two, because like I said, the connect is that social media is social and where you're supposed to be social. And then YouTube is really more of that search engine where,
Right.
So this is, though we don't like, I didn't put up an actual topic for like today's show. I didn't care about that. I'm still looking at it as like my silent majority, which is the people that are here, the ones that are subscribed. That's why I do these particular shows for sure. It's for them. And
Oh,
also
yeah.
for myself, but these aren't the videos that are skyrocketing thousands of views. It's realistically, when I put up my shorts, they'll skyrocket thousands of views and I'll get I can get thousands of subs like that, but that is, the difference between the long form format and the short form format. So you've got a generation and all these people that are all
Mhm.
stuck on 15-second and less videos with 250 transitions within that 15 seconds, or you have a long form format show like this, and how many people actually have that retention rate to actually listen through an actual podcast, such as something like this. So there's a
Right.
big difference between the two. And that's something that I definitely just thought was interesting and thought I'd bring to light.
Well, what I liked about stuff like the short form content, like the Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or
Right.
TikTok, is because it's so short form and it's fun. You could
Yep.
you could stitch, you could take their sound and audio, and you could act, or you could really practice your own social camera skills, being
Right.
behind the camera or whatever.
It's true. It's true.
It's
And
great.
that's where I got that skill from. I'm going to be honest, was from social media. Social media
Mhm.
kind of taught me that from the early days, because you got to remember, I started my Instagram alone, just the Instagram, March of 2012. And I got verified March of 2023. So it took me 11 years on the platform to get verified. You know what I mean? Let alone be on every other platform that I've been on, such as Facebook since 2009. Twitch, I was on, before that, I was just in TV. I don't know if you guys even know what the heck that is. There's all sorts of these streaming places that we didn't have YouTube back then. YouTube was only an uploading service. We never did streaming. There wasn't streaming. It was all,
Mhm.
there were streaming platforms, and then there was YouTube where you uploaded.
Yeah,
So,
the cringe era of YouTube. Love that.
and I just wasn't the guy to sit there and edit a video and put 250 transitions within, maybe you were that guy,
Yes,
you
I
were
was.
you were the editing guy, and I was the guy that would rather be in front of the camera talking,
Yeah.
I'd way rather someone deal with the editing side for sure.
Hey, I kind of wanted to go back up and talk
Sure.
about Rebecca McGuire.
Sure.
She said, "You have CPTSD. I'm guessing that's combat PTSD.
That's
I can
probably it.
say if you don't have it, lucky you. Case, it's a lot good. Well,
Good.
yes,
PMA she
Yeah.
meant, but yeah.
right. So I actually have a story about this. About 2 weeks ago, I was with my club. So I'm in a 1% motorcycle club in California. Yeah, and we were out in front of the parking lot of our clubhouse, right? And another club came by. They were they were coming to support our event, and the one of the other officers, they went up and approached one of their officers and asked them not to park near our bikes because we have a
Mhm.
segregation. Our
Yeah,
club
there
and then
usually
everybody
is.
else's club.
There
Right.
usually is. That's not
So
unusual.
right, and things got a little escalated and all that. Well, things went calmed down. It was just that one guy got butthurt and kept on mean mugging everybody. It's fine. Nothing really bad happened. But out of nowhere, maybe like an hour and a half after that incident happened, I'm at the bar. I'm hanging out with the other brothers, and then I start getting flashbacks. And when you get that, it's like you're time traveling. 1 second you're here, you're hanging out with your friends,
You're
and then the
present, and
next
then all of a
second
sudden,
you're
boom.
seeing blood in the sand, or you're seeing the headlines of your friends, right?
Right.
And your heart sinks, your heart starts beating really fast. It's hard to focus, it's hard to see who's around you. I'm sitting on the couch at the clubhouse, and it's really embarrassing, I felt, because you get all these hardcore bikers, and then me, I've done some stuff to make me look like I'm cool, I guess. And for me to be sitting at the counter at the couch on the back, just like kind of freaking the fuck out because of my PTSD, it's really embarrassing, and it's really hard to come out of that and have the positive mental attitude.
I'm
Uh,
sure.
but luckily, I had a brother there that he saw that what was going on, and he just sat next to me. He didn't talk. He just sat next to me until I was able to snap out of it. And
Right.
that's
And you know what? You bring up a really good point, and this is something I've been preaching for years. Pre all this stuff, just club life, is the greatest and strongest language between brothers is silence. If there's silence, go check up on your brother, call him,
mhm.
go pick up the phone, text him, or go see him, knock on his door, give him a call, let him know you're coming through.
Oh yeah,
Silence, when there's silence, bro, most of the time, yes, a lot of the time we just get caught up on daily life, but when people, your brothers, go on silent on you, and that's unusual, that's a sign. And whether that be you going through PTSD at the moment, whether that be you going through depression, whether that be somebody going through a divorce, somebody lost a spouse, I don't know, man. You just never know what could be going on in people's lives and through their heads and what they've been through. That's why I've always said you can't compare one to the other. You can't compare one disability to another. You can't compare one mindset to another. So
right. Yes,
in
Nelson. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're good. In all, I think brotherhood plays a big role in our lives. And I know that you felt a lot of that amazing acceptance from these people that you may have never even met in person, but you're in the same club as them. And you go all the way, you travel all the way across the country. And now you're riding your motorcycle all the way through the East Coast. And you're going to each and every single clubhouse along the way and partying along the way with each and every single type. And they're taking you in with just, open arms. And that goes with the brotherhood of motorcycle clubs in general. Now,
Right.
I know that must have been, I'm sure there's millions of stories along the way, but what are some of the best things that you remember about that trip?
Okay, here's one. I was in Athens, Georgia, right? But no, I'm not going to tell that one. Let's go with Florida. So I'm in Florida. I get to where I was going, one of the brothers' houses, and they take me out. It was my first interaction with any of the brothers outside of like California and Nevada, right?
Right.
So they first take me out for a steak. They pay for everything, and it was out in Miami. And then we go out to the Keys, and it was the first time I got to see the Florida Keys. The water is so clear, and I got to go drink and hang out on the beach over there. Then we all went to go party, and then they got me some weed, but at the time weed wasn't,
Yeah,
okay
no,
over there.
it's
But
you
outlaw shit.
could potentially get, put in
You can
handcuffs
find
for,
whatever
but yeah, at different times, I guess.
And that was fun because I never really went that far. I went all the way across country, and to have them open arms, like accept me in and take me on all this stuff, it was great. And then um, again in Athens, Georgia, I could tell this part of the story. I get into there, and all the brothers wanted to go party, so they took me out to this one bar that all of them work as a security at, and it was a Hardy's concert, like
Oh, okay. Okay.
the band Hardy. I
Yeah.
don't really know who he is, but
Mhm.
it was really cool to go up into the VIP section and chill
Yep.
with these famous country rappers.
Sure.
And uh, David Allen Coe was there, and this one
Oh,
other
that's pretty
guy.
cool. That's pretty cool.
I can't remember his name. He's from I can't remember. But anyways, I got to hang out with a bunch of like famous people, and got to hang out with this college bar, like this everybody dancing, everyone partying, giant games everywhere. I'm drinking. I go out onto the patio, and again, Georgia is one of those places that don't like smoking. So I'm
Mhm.
out on the patio. I'm in the corner. I'm like packing my bowl, hiding
Yeah,
it,
totally
all that.
hiding from everyone.
Totally hiding it. But then I become like the most popular person at the party because all the college kids want to smoke weed.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course. Of course.
and oh yeah, and that whole thing about Georgia peach, that is a stereotype for a reason. Mm-mm. But you
Damn.
know, I'm married, so I didn't really get to do
Right.
anything. But it was still the fact that it was the environment was crazy and amazing. Um, I also went up to Massachusetts, and up in Massachusetts, I went on like the Salem witch trial like tours and
Oh, shoot.
everything.
That would be
And
interesting.
like I was always into like the occult, but when I went on those tours, it had nothing to do with the occult. It was all just government corruption. Like the reason
Yep.
why the government killed all those women and called them witches is because they wanted to steal land. I'm like,
Mm.
that's interesting. I didn't know that. You know, I got to hang out at the bar up there in Boston, and uh, my old lady, she almost got in a fight with some chick because she asked me what was in my drink, but because I was making these mixed drinks, and she walks up, gets right in between us, and she's like, "You better not be getting this bitch any drinks." I was like, "I wasn't. I was just telling her what it was." And then she walks
Mhm.
away, and then one of the other girls that was in our group, like, it's like, "Oh, bet," walks over there and slaps the girl in the face. You know, I'm like, "Whoa, this is like a rich college area. We're gonna get sued,"
Totally.
but you know,
Totally.
no one really
Get
cared.
out. That's what I'd say. Like, there's footage. There's footage. Let's get out. No,
Yeah,
but I can definitely attest that, no matter it's kind of like this amazing thing that motorcycle clubs have, whether across wherever. It doesn't matter where you really are, as long as you're a part of a nation or an international type of ordeal. I was able to go over, to Sao Paulo, Brazil, and actually be a part of a major ride where
yeah.
we actually did a double world record, and where there were 6,546 registered motorcycles, one pack, one club. And those were registered. Those weren't even counting the ones that just didn't register and didn't, you know what I mean? And this was amazing because they did that all because I got back onto a motorcycle.
hmm
And when I flew down there, I got to do kind of a very similar experience where I got to go from clubhouse to clubhouse, clubhouse, like just partying with all these guys. And I actually just released, I'm sure you guys, if you guys are following, I just released OG Yogi's music video that we actually filmed, that I filmed and edited in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And we actually have some B-roll and stuff like that of us actually in the pack and all that stuff as well. But it was pretty amazing to really go even from the United States, where we are here and where our brotherhood is here. And I went down to South America, and they almost taught me brotherhood. I
hmm
was like, wow. I was mind blown by the way they think. And I didn't even, and it's crazy because we're doing all this through translation, you know what I mean? Which is crazy because I'm not speaking, I don't know Portuguese, guys. I don't know how to speak the language. So I'm down there and nobody really knows how to speak English except for the 4 people that went to Brazil. And I'm one of them. And it was definitely a story to tell because there's so many experiences with so many different people, but the love and acceptance, because you are a part of that organization, it's like you're automatically just succumbed by this immense amount of love. And that's a great thing when it's great. You know what I mean? And that's something that is also those topics is, it's great when it's great and it's hard when it's hard, and that's what I always say about these clubs and everything. If you are falling into like politics and too much of anything, go ride, set up a ride, go do something, go ride somewhere, because when you come back, I promise you, you're a lot of those problems will probably be forgotten and or even just not even thought of, or maybe just at least tamed down.
Right.
I think a lot of guys aren't getting going out enough and actually doing rides rather than doing bar hop riding, doing that kind of stuff. It's different when you
Which
go
is
on a
cool
real
too,
ride.
I guess.
It's cool too, I guess, too, to get out. I get it too. But I don't really get the club hopping thing because I don't drink while I'm out. So, I mean, it does, like, what am I going to do? Go ride my bike to a bar to order a water, to sit there and watch a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's why, like, I always even tell people on here, and I'm very open about it on everyone's platform that I talk on their chats and stuff. I'm like, I'll tell you, I'm the first one to tell you, I don't want to attend rallies. I don't want to attend any of that stuff because I can barely handle it with my own brothers. Why, you know what I mean? Why do I want to handle the general public who doesn't know what's going on? They're out there drinking, not caring. And I'm not saying club guys aren't either, but it's just a total, you have no idea who these people are, but yet you expect that nothing's going to go wrong, or you guys aren't going to get into a bad crash or whatever. It's like, I'm not going to do these group rides, these rallies. Nah, I'll keep to myself on that.
Yeah. Well, Rebecca McGuire said something pretty interesting. She said people under my age don't really seem to get the concept of brotherhood, honestly. And I kind of want to ask people in the comments, what is brotherhood to you? Like, or better yet, what is freedom to you? Like, that everybody has their own concept of freedom.
It's true.
Whether it be money, because money brings you freedom, or whether it brings you status. Some people crave status, and that's their form of freedom because of the stuff that it lets you do. Or some people think that just the open road and riding, as simple as just hitting the pavement, that's freedom. So Everybody in the comments, please comment on your definition of freedom.
I like that. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that, because that is a good way to end, and with a question I like as well. And I can't thank every single one of you guys for coming in, hanging out with us. All of you guys coming in here with these comments and all the amount of love. I see you guys, every single one of you guys, Jessica, Ledge, just every single one of you guys. I see all you guys in here, and I can't thank you guys enough. And I want you guys to write these answers in the comments, in the comment section itself, because that's really what helps the algorithm as well for the show. But I do like Nelson. He puts up, freedom is the ability to live your life with minimal government intrusion. Don't mess with me if I'm not a danger to you. And I actually can, if I'm not a danger to someone else like that, then why the hell mess with me? And I agree with that. But there's a lot of, there's going to be so many different, there's so many different things. I mean, they could just, freedom of speech, there's a lot of, there can be simplistic answers and very complex. Nonetheless, I can't thank every single one of you guys enough. Limber Nebula over there at Twitch, I see you, bro. Thank you so much for being here after all these freaking years. I see you. And Chino, please plug in your Instagram again, and also your YouTube. Your YouTube isn't hyperlinked. Well, I guess you don't have a link for it yet, but you're hyperlinked in this channel right now. So all you guys have to do is hit the title thing right there where it says Chino B Berserker. Click that. So where do we find you on Instagram?
On Instagram, it is Chino_Berserker. Berserker is BERSERKER. So it's really easy.
There you go.
And Instagram, it's just one word, Chino Berserker.
Easy peasy, man. I really appreciate every single one of you guys for being here again. We'll talk to you guys on the flip side for sure. We're going to go and run this. We're going to run this for, you know what? We're going to do this one for Steve, okay? We're doing this one for Steve. We're running it for Steve. Let's get it.
Riding on the Harley all night. Into the party looking nice. Candy paint shining on bright. Slide with my homies. In and out of lanes, push through. Headed to the annual, looking for the baddest hoes. Getting sideways on two. Counting for the bike. Night.
Damn right, riding on my Harley through the night. Keep the motor tight, peeling out, taking flights. Life on the edge is the way that Yogi like. No fun if I can't do 100 through the light. Probably be the only way that I can live and feel alive. Pull up on the side, roll up some of that fire, and take a shot of Henny, hit up business, clear my mind. PCH rolling, feeling so golden. Meet up with the homies on the pier and grab a cold one. Park here, right where I can see the ladies by the glide. Sexy looking photogenic, mama wanna ride. You can bet the ladies never knew that I could fly. If I put her on her back and wipe the tears from her eyes, knowing she done felt the Harley D rumble through her thighs. And that ain't even a half on the bike night. Let's ride.
Riding on the Harley all night. Into the party looking nice. Candy paint shining on bright. Slide with my homies. In and out of lanes, push through. Headed to the annual, looking for the baddest hoes. Getting sideways on two. Counting for the bike.
Stay new, so true. Chrome shine good with the blue. And I hit 'em with the blue on the shoe. And the blue lights underneath too look good. Make a nigga wanna ride on me. Best believe I got the Nina on the side, homie. I'm forgiving all you niggas that done lied on me. And them hoes in my face playing sci-fi phony. Now that dare make me go into a bike zone. Pull up on the set feeling safe right home. Pay my respects, buy a drink, get it in. Baby glassing at me while I'm looking at her best friend. Look at baby Crizzle, I can see him pulling in. With that BDSC blunt smoke in the wind. And a shot of that in. Now it's time to take flight. Go and burn out in the parking lot until we get it right for that.
Night. Riding on the Harley all night. Into the party looking nice. Candy paint shining on bright. Slide with my homies. In and out of lanes, push through. Headed to the annual, looking for the baddest hoes. Getting sideways on two. Counting for the bike.
A suggestion, put respect on. Another MC when you see him with his vest on. Let you know it's kinda different from civilians. When you with me, you gon' only see the real ones. Packing real guns, having real fun. Doing many fundraisers for the children. That's the kind of shit that make you wanna build on. MCs come together making millions. Get the motor ready for the bike night race. Brag about my bike and put some dollars in your face. 110, leaving many niggas in the chase. Screaming demons, steaming, leaving semen all up in your taste. What a waste. I done blew another engine case. It's a real up in the field in the bike lane gang. MCs stay the same, but the nights might change. Pull out some love for the ones out the gang. Yeah.
Night. Riding on the Harley all night. Into the party looking nice. Candy paint shining on bright. Slide with my homies. In and out of lanes, push through. Headed to the annual, looking for the baddest hoes. Getting sideways on two. Counting for the bike. Night. Riding on the Harley all night. Into the party looking nice. Candy paint shining on bright. Slide with my homies. In and out of lanes, push through. Headed to the annual, looking for the baddest hoes. Getting sideways.